cinematographer.
Good, you took a lesson on time, so we're going to try to leave a little bit more space. You're going to go down here and the trail's going to start on your right. It's a very fast roller coaster, technical, and technical I mean that there's going to be a lot of ruts in the way. There's no rain or anything, so your tires should grip those pretty good. We didn't have any trouble the other day. Then we're going to go down, and you're going to be going back and forth, and there's some, and then we're going to come back up, and then we're going to go back down, and then you're going to climb a huge hill, which I would say 95% of us will walk. All right? And don't think that right up that hill as far as you want, but don't walk up to the point where you're going to exhaust yourself to no end, where you're not going to have any energy after that, because after that it gets a little bit more technical, the turns are a little bit tighter, and there's more ruts to go over, okay? So you're going to get tired at that point. That's the point you need to work on your skills. If anybody has a mechanical, make sure you let everybody in your group know so we can stop and fix it. Does anybody know what that poison oak spit looks like? Hey, TJ. This is what I want you guys to start practicing. Who here does a lot of off-road riding? Nobody? Seriously? Nobody does? Okay.
Okay, right. Gary, I'm sorry. I want you to explain it.
What I want you guys to do is I want to make sure that you guys are at the 3 and 9 position as you descend, with just your butt bones hitting the back of your saddle, keeping the weight back. That way you have more control of your bike. You can push your bike through things a lot better. Now when we climb, you'd be sitting on your saddle, right? Right here we come. See how she stands? Now watch, she'll push the bike. Well, that's not exactly what I was looking for. Okay, now I'm going to go back to here, and you're going to see me push my bike through. Not one of those people did it. Now, you have to understand, if you're ever racing or you're looking for speed, the longer that your tires contact the ground. My weight back, I'm going to come down here, I'm going to push the bike down, and then I'm going to wake the back and I'm going to come up without lofting out. Okay? Okay, you come down here, I got my weight back, I push up. That's a little exaggerated. You don't want to go quite back that far. But that's what you do, and you let the bike come up to you. Okay? All right. Let's go get it. See you later, TJ. Stop!
Damn, if I known he was there.
Stop!
I've had one thing. I'm afraid by one of those fuckers before.
What's up, buddy?
Come on, quit digging up that trail, buddy. Weight back, 3 and 9.
Right down the middle, right there.
There you go. All right, girls, let's go. Keep pumping. You got it. Keep going. Keep pumping. Good job. Stand by here, Jack.
Let's see what
Take 2.
Okay.
Okay. You guys can make these hills, and you just got to get the right body position, okay? So you got to put this part of your seat.
Yeah, stand by, stand by.
Right up there inside.
Take 3.
The up your bottom side, okay? And you push your butt down on that, and then you want your arms to be bent here but you're pushing down on the handlebar too. All right, you don't want to be pulling back because that's going to lift the front bar up, pull the wheel up. So you got to keep some weight on that front tire, and then you got to put it in your granny gear and walk it up. Now, sometimes you've just got to learn your bike, because I'll get on a hill and I'll know if I go to full granny, I'm going to get loose in the back end. So I'll come down a couple off the back end, all right, so I got more traction, and then I know I can climb the hill with that. That one right there, I was down one off of full granny, but then I walked it up the hill. I didn't think about trying to grunt up the hill. I just walked the bike. I take nice, even cadence pedals and walk it up. Okay, any questions on that? You guys should be able to make these.
No, we go up.
We go up.
They're on their way back already. Go. All right.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Oh.
Going left. Hole. And then there's a big hole after the left.
Right turn.
Tom, big hole.
Here, I split this one and I slammed the wheel right down in here and used all that contact. I mean, it's a little muddy, but at this point you pretty much know what the dirt's going to do before we get here, okay? And if you force that wheel into this, to get it biting, once it contacts here, you're going to need to release a little bit of that pressure, otherwise this is going to go zip right out from underneath you, okay? At that point, you need to be on your rear wheel, so when it drops through this, it's dragging, okay? Let your front wheel carry and roll over this. And if you have to, you can drag your back wheel, but you also got to think your wheelbase. Okay, now your back wheel's into this. Where's your front wheel going to be? On this one. So now you're rolling over a slimy root. Now you got to turn left. Okay? Get hard on your front brake right here before it goes. Release that brake. Loft that wheel just a little bit. Get into this dirt again. Release your brakes as soon as you can so that bike will turn. Get that center of gravity down and roll out the corner. Okay? Once you get into this corner, there's a hole here where it drops down, and now there's a root that's suspended about 1 inch off the ground. Now you got to deal with that thing popping up underneath you, okay? So just try and get a nice smooth arc into here. Lay that bike over, and as soon as your front wheel contacts that, just like these other ones, let a little pressure off that brake, lift that wheel, and dig it in to get it biting, okay?
Everybody's asking. That's what it looks like.
Anyone have any questions as far as that goes? Okay, obviously by this time you should be pretty comfortable with what kind of traction you're going to get or not going to get out of these tires, okay? Especially like your Continentals, they've got a real flat roller in the middle that doesn't have a lot of traction. You get it mostly off your sidewall, so you got to really pay attention to that when you're going over this stuff, because this is going to be like ice, okay? So why don't we get a couple guys who...
Go ahead.
Yeah, make sure you're set before you even commit. Let it roll, let it roll, just let it roll. Let it roll.
That's it, the side of it. Yeah.
Go down fighting.
Good way to stay with it, man.
Yeah. Just let it slide.
Yeah, see, I was thinking more about that root than I was about anything else.
I think it's the time when you give up is the time that you're really going to get hurt. You keep your momentum going, you don't take as hard as impact.
The hardest thing is try not to fight panic when you start to slide. If you
Just
can
relax it, massage it over.
I mean, like this root right here, it's going at a diagonal. When he hit it, it actually pushed his rear end out and squared him off of the corner. So if he would have let it go and just popped into it, and you could pedal right out. Because you're basically letting the course straighten you out instead of having to turn. Use the rear wheel. I'll do that with my bike. I don't know if you guys will watch. I steer with the rear tire a lot. Because that way I keep that front end digging and controlling. I just move the rear end around it.
A lot of times you have too much weight on the back.
Roll it. Okay.
I'm going to get this thing.
That was one of those things, when your front wheel hit that, you still had too much weight on the front wheel.
You're letting your... That's beautiful.
Let it roll, let it roll, let it roll. Nice. Good job.
There we go. Third time's a charm.
And you'll notice right as soon as you get in here, the sooner you get pedaling, the better you can steer that bike. Because like I told you before, you're transferring that center of gravity down and you're making that bike more mobile. okay? And then you're making them tires dig. If you're coasting, you're just dead. You're dead in the water, okay?
He's gonna give it a whirl.
Yeah, go back down. We gotta do it one more time. Lauren's gonna try? Oh, nice try. Nice try.
One of these days.
We really don't have enough time.
Hold on a minute.
Everybody say hi, Mom.
We're still short a Cinci guy.
Hold on, he's coming,
Run! Run!
Just dive in here. Dive in here, right here.
Nah, I'm a
Okay.
That's where I screwed up. I didn't make a figure eight. That's where I messed up on that.
That didn't go out wide.
Well, I just came out and went around and then tried to get that good. I stalled out and then back up to
Now power through. Power, 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 power.
Oh, dude! Get out or get in, but make up your mind. Now, kind of.
Big guy like you know, the shot numbers on it. So coil over at the 2000. But we've gone two things through there.
Looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
Can you lock those out?
They got one that they're working on.
But you have to also lock them out. Put more pressure because those rear ends are designed to be able to move. But if you start locking it up, now you're putting pressure on the pivot points that are supposed to stand.
You know what the problem with
Very small lip on that magazine, and where it sits in the magazine well. So some of your trainers will tell you that you're going to have to lock the slide to the rear. You have to lock the slide to the rear because you got that recoil spring putting pressure on that slide. If you lock the slide to the rear, it takes the pressure off of the magazine in the top round, and it will allow the magazine to fall freely, whether you dump the magazine or release it into your hand. Block shooters, you got a little hole back here. Everybody see that? Okay? It's a shooter-friendly gun. You reach your thumb up there and rip that magazine out. It's not a problem. Now, if you are trained to discard that magazine and go for a new one, then that's what you're going to do. If you are trained to clear the gun and reinsert, then that's what you're going to do. Okay? Whatever your department trains you to do. But the bottom line is that magazine's got to come out fully or partially. You've got to rack the empty casing, because that's what you guys have in there. In a real double feed, this is what's in there. It was not, that claw did not pick it up and extract it from the chamber. Okay? That shell casing has got to be removed before that new round can go in there. You got two shells that are trying to go in this one hole, and that doesn't work all the time, does it? Okay. We'll walk you through it, all right? Is everybody ready? All right, let's see. Number 5. Orange number 5.
Can I change my magazine so I have a full one loaded when I strip it? You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
Strip an empty one.
they shot 6?
Right.
Yep. Everybody else, draw your weapons. rounds on number 5. 6 rounds on number 5. Ready. Fire! Face, eye, throat, groin protection is mandatory. Who does not have any groin protection of any sort? It's highly recommended that you guys bring some groin protection. It was highly recommended that you wear long pants and long sleeves.
Here we're preparing all the different training and safety equipment, all Red Man gear, by the highly qualified and talented instructors.
This is called a Red Man suit helmet with hockey mask. It's to protect the face.
You can't stop us cold because I'm assuming we don't have whistles. Is that correct? Correct.
That is the improper one. That's the upside down.
You ready?
Stay right there.
Stay where you are. Stay where you are.
Watch my truck.
Stay right where you are.
I just want my keys in my car, and I need to go get my second set.
Stay right where you are.
Come here.
Stop.
Stop. Bring
Stop
it
what you're doing.
I need to go get my keys.
Stop.
I need to go get my keys.
Turn around. Turn around.
Why?
Turn
Turn
around.
around.
Turn around.
Turn around now.
What?
Put your hands
Stand
behind
behind back.
Well, which do you want me to do? Above my head or behind my back?
Put your hands behind your head. Do it now. Interlock your fingers behind your head. Interlock them behind your head.
That's as much as I can get.
You understand?
Yep.
Okay, that's one thing. When you came over here, when you guys started making commands, obviously you started making 2 different types of commands. If you guys can't communicate properly, he's in charge of the scenario, right? Obviously as officers, we're called here because no one else wants to be here. We need to come in, step up, and take over, okay? So, with that in mind, also as you approach, he told you about that blind corner. Once you got up there, you turned your back. Okay?
I thought he was talking about the truck.
Well, you should also pick up on that stuff, right? You gotta, especially if you, I don't know if you have any tactical training or something, but you really need to clear those hard corners. Just any entry, okay? What you could do is you could kind of walk up to that point. He can kind of come out here and secure this car, all checking your back. And you just basically take a position covering down on that vehicle while he slices that pine, covers that side, you know what I mean?
That over here is okay.
Right.
Okay.
So, just the little things I don't want to sit here and spend a lot of time on. You guys did good with the little information you had. As soon as you made contact, you grappled him, you took him down, and secured him. That was good. Okay? Any questions? Okay. Good job. See these things. All right. I mean, we don't have a lot of time to sit here and just totally go step by step by step. You guys did fine. Just really work on your clear communication skills. But once he sees that you guys don't know what you're doing, he's in charge. Okay? Good job.
What we're going to do, first scenario is going to be a traffic stop. You already have an officer that's there. You're responding as a backup officer. Officer's a solo bike unit. He pulled the vehicle over. Suspect vehicle is a van, metallic brown in color. He's calling for backup because he's not sure there's any other people in the car. And he's saying he's now called out. He's extracting the driver. At that time, shortly after that call goes out, you're responding to the scene.
Hey, partner. What you doing? Hey. Come back over here.
I'm walking out the park.
Give me your hand.
My hands are right here. I'm walking out the
Kathy.
park.
Kathy, come here. Come here, Kathy.
What do you want me to do?
Yes.
Can't I leave? Yes, you
Come here,
can.
Kathy.
Thank you.
Get it.
Don't be pointing it at me.
Watch out.
What the hell?
You have a picture?
Wow, you shoot somebody? No, you didn't. You shot
Right
somebody?
there. Get on the ground.
Get on the
Get on the ground now. Get on the ground. You see your hand?
They're here.
Okay.
What? You shot somebody?
Look close for any other glue.
That was a good hit.
Very good hit. You might want to consider once the person goes down. I don't know if you could see, but I know that the gun fell away from my hand. So you can move to cover and still have a gun and be ready to shoot at any time, moving to cover, right?
Yeah. The only place I would have to go is right there.
Right, and
Kinda
that's
trap me
good
in,
cover,
too.
right? That's
Well,
good cover.
good concealment. I kind of would have been pinned right up in between
You
there.
got concrete block.
Yeah.
Concrete.
Oh, that?
That's
Yeah.
great cover.
Yeah.
Great
Cover
cover.
went down there.
So you might want to consider, once the person is down, at that point, there's probably not a huge hurry in moving in, especially if you've got another unknown over here that your partner's dealing with. Keep this person covered while you're behind
Until
cover
going in, yeah.
until you're ready to move in. Then you keep somebody holding the person at gunpoint, cover your partner.
Yeah.
He'll move in from a different angle.
I would saw.
Advanced class cone course, their technical skills.
Warm up, Colin.
my body. I'm going to load up and use to my advantage so that when I rotate through, he's going to feel the maximum effect of my strike. Okay? And try to curl your fingers around, keep your thumb in there so you don't break those fingers. Okay? You can do it however way you want after you leave class, but for today, just do it that way. Okay? Humor me. Okay? So I'm going to load up my arm, my shoulder, my torso, my hips, and my hamstrings. Okay, so this is going to be my position. I'm always going to protect my high guard. I'm going to spring everything out. Okay, so I'm going to rotate. I'm going to push off with my hamstrings. I'm going to use my lower legs to help me produce power.
Really driving. I don't think he can do it. Kiss my ass. Yes, I don't think so. I don't think he can.
That have been taught and have been used. One is a wheel up, where you just hit that rear brake, and I'm just going to keep this in between. You see someone advancing on you, just hit that rear brake. If he wants to grab my wheel, if he wants to try to get around that tool, I'll give it to him, and I'm going to go to something that I'm trained to use. My OC, my baton, whichever. I usually won't engage my front brake, because if I did, that'd be a lot easier for him to grab and to maneuver the bicycle. So just hit that rear brake, pivot it up, give him a couple of dances, and then give it to him. Give yourself some time and distance, and go to another level. Okay? From the rear, someone's advancing from the rear. Do the same thing, only I'm just going to give it to him. Okay? Here you go. Don't dance all day. Don't dance all day. There you go. Do something else. There you go. Good.
There you go. Yeah. See how much more control you got? There you go. Good.
Good. Excellent.
Bike you up.
Stay back, stay back, stay back, stay back, stay back. Get on the ground, get on the ground.
There you go. Good.
Fuck up my bike and fuck you up. It needs some straps for a little few. I gotta sell that piece of shit when I get home.
Back.
There you go. Retreat and deploy your OC. Fire 3 more. Okay? Now, there's a trick to doing a speed reload. The trick is going from here and dropping that magazine is fast, isn't it? All right? I want to start going for this new magazine first. I want to start going to the new magazine first, okay? Because if I don't, what's going to happen to me, thanks? I sure as hell am Sugar Smith. Will your gun fire with the magazine out? So you ain't got nothing. What I want to do is I want to minimize the time that I got a one-shot block. And how I do that is, from this position here, my shooting position, I want to start grabbing for this new magazine first so that these two pass each other in midair. Because it takes more time for this to happen than it does that. Okay? Shoot 3. Speed reload, shoot 3. Shoot 3, speed reload, shoot 3. Center mass, 0 misses. Ready, fire! Magazine's stuck and it won't come out. What am I gonna do? I got this magazine in my hand. Just peel it out of there. You're still minimizing the time you gotta wait. Fire! Follow through, scan and breathe. One more time, 3 rounds each. Fire!
Line one. Oh, everybody up here, please. Everybody up here. You can teach at lunch.
In our basic class, we don't do what you guys just did. Real basic. We do a lot of the weapon manipulation stuff, a lot of the purpose of that. We get enough, and that's something I really have noticed a lot in the last 20 years. So in the advanced class, there's a nice kitchen sink, right? You guys are out working. You guys maintain control of the bike. You're gonna come up and interview me and get off the bike.
I'm like, here.
Okay. Why do we do that?
I'm buried between.
You got a physical barrier, and you got a psychological barrier, don't you? Okay? And depending on the person's commitment level, if I want to get to Phil, if I want to get to Phil, is the bike gonna be that much of a barrier for me? But it could, though, right? I still got to get over or around it to get to him. Is there a problem with him sending that bike at me? Is a bike an impact weapon?
Distraction. Obstacle. Check your phones.
This is an impact weapon, specifically designed to strike, isn't it? The bike is a tool of transportation, okay? So, if he sends this bike in my general direction and happens to make contact with me, is that what his intention is?
A distraction.
It's a distractor. Anybody here go through knife defense or edge weapons training? What do they teach you?
Teach it.
Yeah.
About distractors.
About barriers.
Barriers. Use them as much as possible. Ain't that?
As much as possible. A chair, a table, whatever I can get in between me and Phil is a good thing, okay? If he sends the bike and it happens to make contact with me, that's my fault, okay? I called Bruce Siddle, we verified it. Has anybody ever taught to use the bike as an offensive impact weapon? Has anybody ever talked to you about that? He said no. I said we need to talk about it because it's getting taught. Bike is not an offensive impact weapon. It's a distraction. However you guys do it. I like to, when I deal with people, most of us, exit, operator's left, right? Kickstand side. Some people teach this technique, okay? If I have to send the bike, I can do that. I know that even for a second, Pat, unless he occupies his hands on that bike, is going to get a rude awakening, isn't it? Okay? Some people teach
It's a
that.
minor injury.
Okay? Depending on subject and officer size, if I have to, you know, I just do a power slide and I come around this guy and I want to talk to you. He don't want to talk to me. If I have to send the bike this way, if he's advancing, same deal, right? But what I don't want to do is, if I make a decision, I'm going to go ahead and close that distance. Is this a great position for me to be in?
Yeah.
I'm going to get launched, aren't I?
Yeah.
A problem here. If I make the decision that I'm the one that's going to close the distance, the bike's going to go this way and out of the way of me. And then I'll go ahead and close the distance, okay? Now, we've established that this bike, as the officer is in control of the bike, which I like to maintain control of the bike, is not an impact weapon. I'm the police officer. Now, he's the bad guy. Is the bike an impact weapon? What's he going to do with my bike? Ride it? Do something. Your actions will dictate to me whether or not that bike's going to be used against me as a do something that will tell me that that bike is about to become an impact weapon. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, are we playing on words? What are the officer's intentions and how are you going to write your report? What did you plan on doing with that bicycle? Okay, I was going to block him. I was going to use the bicycle to distract him. Okay, he moved forward into the bike. The guy's just standing there, mind his own business. I decided I'm going to be a jerk off and kick the bike into him. I got problems. Now that's another thing. One of the techniques of sending the bike in that direction, okay, in order for the officer to get distance and create time for me to go to something else is kicking the bike. We don't teach it, but I know some people do. If you guys are taught to do that, go ahead. But we've seen some problems with that. Okay, what if you miss the top two? What if your foot gets caught? We've seen it happen on the range. Okay? What if you overshoot it and bring it back the bike towards you? What if you got to kick it so hard it's sending your momentum forward when the ultimate goal is for you to get distance and time? Okay? What if? What if I don't have enough time to shove the bike into him? What if I can't do two things at one time, and what's important for me is to get back and draw my pistol, my OC, or my baton? Okay? Still a barrier, isn't it? Okay? So let's talk about these things a little bit. Now, when we do this range exercise, normally the target is at a height that we can draw our pistol and come back and fire with the bike still in the upright position. I think that's the case today. What I want you guys to do is take your bikes and line them up on the range. Just like this. Here's a bad guy. I'm interviewing a bad guy.
Dear Chief. Spencer, we'll just leave your bike up there when it's time for me to shoot.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Grab a bike, kick stand. Can you grab a bike, kick
Yours
stand?
is over.
Okay. Baton and OC, right? Wrong. Okay? We're gonna, because of the glove issue and because your gun belt's set up, etc., we're gonna have you guys work through your gun belt just a little bit on the move. Okay? When you guys are told to deploy your OC, we don't want you shooting any OC because we get a little wind problem if you guys don't have an OC. But I do want you guys to work through your gun belt. So, what am I gonna do? I'm going to tell you guys to go from one weapon system to the next. Okay? I'm going to tell you which level of force I want you to use. Pistol, baton, or OC, if you got it. I might tell you to go quickly from one to the next. What are you going to do with that baton? What are you going to do with that OC? What if I had you go from OC or baton to OC? Can I have both of these out at the same time? What's wrong with it? I don't have any more hands. If he's coming, he's going to get hit here. If he keeps coming, he's going to get hit here. Okay? Think about it. Now what if he keeps coming? Okay, or hands on, depending on what I got, right? Can you have two in your hand at the same time? How is your gun belt set up? You shoot your OC with your shooting hand or your support hand, etc., etc., etc. So we're gonna run through some of these, all right? Just a couple. Stop. Back off. Police don't move. Whatever it is. Tell them what you want them to do. Do not be afraid to tell people what you want them to do. Okay? So, I give you the old OC. What are you going to do? You're going to grab your OC, you're going to take a step back, you're going to point it in the right direction, you're going to tell them back off. All right? Then we go up. Okay, you go to the baton. You draw your baton, you come back, back off. Get yourself set for delivery mode. Give them a verbal command. Okay? I'm going to, after you guys get the hang of that, I'm going to have you go from one to the next. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? Quick. Baton. Baton. Baton.
Back up! Back up! On the ground!
Okay. On top of these metal covers, you guys can tap it back down.
Back up! What was it?
Pistol! Pistol! 3 rounds! Follow through, scan and breathe. Good. All right? If I'm going to go deal with Kathy over there, and she's breaking into that trailer, am I going to ride towards the truck, or I'm going to flank out and go high noon and sneak up on Kathy that way? What are you going to do? I'm going to take the available cover. I'm going to put myself in a position that I can still observe her and ride behind the truck to my next point of cover. All right? Now, when I get there, I don't really have any other place to go in terms of cover, do I? So what would be wrong with me ordering Kathy away from that trailer? Would that be better, or would it be better me getting off my bike and sneaking up on her and saying, hi, how are you, what are you doing? As long as she can hear me, I can establish verbal control, can't I? Hey, Kat! You almost ready? Okay. Right? Okay. I don't have to roll right up on her until I get a better idea. If I got time, distance, and cover, that's to my benefit. And we're just talking about tactics here, okay? What about cover?
You put water in there.
People train you to shoot over cover and use this as a bench rest.
Not water.
I'm not going to stop you out here doing a couple scenarios. But just think about this in terms of exposure, okay? When I'm bench resting my gun over the hood of a car or whatever, look how much of my body I'm exposing over the top. A lot. If I decide that I'm going to come around cover and I'm going to shoot this way and rest my hands and my arm, maybe my forearm up against this garbage can here, how much am I exposing? How much am I exposing? Quite a bit, right? How many shooting options do I have? One. Okay? Once you go forward of your barricade or your cover, it's no longer cover, is it? Okay? A lot of your tactical operators will tell you that the rule of thumb in terms of distance away from cover is the rule of your outstretched arm. I've got double options now. If I want to shoot on this side of the barricade, I can. If I want to shoot on this side of the barricade, I can. And when I move from one side to the next, I don't have to do this. Do I? Or this, and muzzle the people next to me, right? If I want to do a reload, I can do it here effectively. Okay? This is your last shooting option going over top of the cover. All right? Think about that. All right. First stationary dismount you guys are going to do is from power pedal position. We're going to use this line right here. Kathy's going to do a demo. She's going to do a stationary dismount, take a position behind cover. She's going to fire 3 rounds. We're going to do that about 3 times. Ready? Fire! Follow through, scan, and breathe. When we do this, and we do it 3 or 6 rounds, 3 or 4 rounds on that side. Be an unpredictable moving target to your adversary, okay? It's all yours. Ready? Run the 1 line.
2.
First line. Move!
Back off your cover to give yourself more options. Back up, watch your muzzle, downrange, downrange. Move. Get off that pipe. I don't care if you do this. People have a problem stepping into the unknown. If you're doing that, that's cool. If you want to do this, that's cool. If you want to step over your bike this way, that's cool. Whatever you're most comfortable with. We'll do it dry a couple of times and you can try a couple of different ways. Whatever you're most comfortable with, all right? Make them pound. Move! Give me 3. 3 rounds. Move!
Hoo-hoo.
You're on fire. Okay? Questions? All right. 4 at a time. First round. Ready! Move!
right there. Stop right there, please.
He freaked, cranked on the front brake.
He's offset sergeant doing something.
The entertainment.
Get on the ground, do it now!
Low speeds, oftentimes what type of environment is that? Through crowds, right? A lot of times when we work in crowds, there's alcohol involved. It's a carnival, it's a festival, it's a downtown bar district, whatever it might be. A lot of the times we do low-speed riding, there's a lot of people in very close quarters, okay? Especially if they're intoxicated, there's a better chance something's going to happen, okay? We're riding slow, we're in this riding position. That exposes all of our equipment, doesn't it? It makes us much more vulnerable to have things taken away from us or grabbed, used, have us thrown to the ground or whatever the case may be. What the point we want to help you make to your administration is the fact that we're in this position, we don't want to lose our stuff. And it's possible. In our last survey, we had a lot of people respond saying, yeah, I've had people try to grab my stuff. I've had people take my baton. I've had people take my flashlight. So it does happen. So it's a reality. It does happen. Some of our guys are not comfortable riding through those crowds, and that may be a choice that you want to make. If you're more comfortable getting off the bike, I might want to push it through this crowd, and something might happen. So that's cool. If you're riding through, a lot of times we'll say keep your feet out of the cliffs so that you have more reaction time. You know, however comfortable you're working around that issue, but realize that we are very exposed. Some of our guys will ride one-handed, and they'll keep that elbow over their pistol, but their other stuff is still exposed, right? So it's something that you want to be aware of, especially in this position on a bicycle in close quarters with a lot of people. Think about the equipment that you're using, your holster that you're using. Ideally, if you can set it up identical to what your leather gear is, if you ride a bicycle and in a car at times, that's best case. Under stress, you're gonna, I'm thinking I'm going for my OC, and oh, I have my nylon gear on. This is my flashlight up here. So ideally, if you could get that in the same exact position and with the same exact holster, that's best case. Because under stress, that's what we're going to do. If you have an SS3 in your leather gear and you have Uncle Mike's that you have to flip the butt of the gun in to draw it out, that could be a problem under stress, right? You have to think of which holster you're wearing on that day. And under stress, that could cost you an extra half a second. So ideally, if you can get the same exact holster and your nylon is in your leather, that's best case. Also think about how your gun comes out of the holster, especially in the crowd situation. If you don't have some type of retention system, you're not comfortable with it, you don't want to train yourself to become proficient in drawing in an SS3 where you have to undo both snaps, rock it back, and pull it out, you have to think about these things. Low speed, your weapon retention drills that you've been taught at your department, okay? So have your partner grab your gun, get a firm grip, and you very slow to form, do what you're trained to do. If you're trained to lock it down, do a strike, lock it down, twist, lock it down, do knee strikes, slow to form, okay? You review your own departmental policy and what you've been trained to do, okay? Do it about 5 times and switch. So everybody reviews it. Go. bike, you've just reviewed your own technique for weapon retention. Under stress, if you're riding your bike, you're probably going to do the same exact thing, right? You're not going to be changing everything on you just because you're on a bike. Under stress, you're going to do what you've been trained to do. If you've been doing this job for 10 years, I'm not going to bring him in and now say, oh, you got to do something different. Okay, so I do it exactly the same, only now we just have a bike to get away from, right? We have a bike to contend with that may be in the picture, okay? Not a big deal, okay? So if Steve's on his bicycle and I'm his partner, we're gonna first go slow to form, okay? Then 50%, then we'll go 75. Do it 3 times a piece, 3 times and then switch, so everybody's comfortable with it. 3 times slow to form, 3 times 50%, 3 times 75. And then think about this. He's on the bicycle. Now he's gotta do what he's been trained to do, only he's gotta manage that bicycle. Okay? What can he do?
Step out of it.
He's probably gonna want to step out of it, right? And if he's gonna step back, that's probably gonna give another full speed, right?
Yeah.
If you can do that, that might be a good idea. Some of us don't have that option because I've had, in training, I've had people grab my gun and pull me off the bike and throw me around like a rag doll. So some of us fighters.
Front one.
You gotta get that right. How do you
Yeah. 3 times, everybody. Now we're gonna have one of the instructors drive your gun, and they're gonna try to get your gun. Okay, we've been practicing, right? Now this is the real deal. Do not let them get your gun. Take them all the way down. Get them handcuffed. Everybody got cuffs?
Okay, then we got a couple cones right here. Just 2 cones, just do some figure 8 stuff. Okay? Remember when you're into this stuff, what I want you to do is you're pivoting around this cone. I want you to pick up the second one as you apex this one, because that's where you need to be. You don't need to look where you're at, you're already there. Okay? You need to look where you want to go. And once you start doing that, your lines have become more fluid. Okay? Over there, you've got a box. Just a simple, I think it's about a 10-foot box. You got to go around the cones. You can see the tire treads there. And you notice it's kind of on uneven terrain, a little bit of an angle. So you're going to have to climb up one side. It's going to want to roll away from you on the other. Okay? Be able to control that, nice and fluid. Okay?
Through, he keeps power to his back wheel. Once you don't get power to the back wheel, you've lost control. As long as he keeps and he pushes, he uses his back brake to feather the bike through as it goes through. So his RPMs are always the same. Now you'll look back at the other one. This is a drill that the coastal team uses all the time. They'll get in a parking lot. These guys will go for an hour in a circle and just start working their turns, leaning that bike more and more every time. Very similar to this.
What gear works for me may not work for you. I mean, I could do this in a big rig if I wanted to. Then I can't keep my RPMs up. Okay? You're having to fight it more. Try different gears.
Little hint for you guys that are going to do the competition and stuff. These people are pumping these big rings and they can't get the acceleration. What makes this guy so good going through that stuff is he's a old BMX guy, so he knows. All right? Or low gear. Never keep that shit right. What you want is you're going to feel movement on your bike underneath here. That's what we're looking for.
I don't want you ramming your tire into that board because you're going to displace it, okay?
Yeah, and then you got to get off and put it back. And you can hear it. You can't even hear him get on there. That's the key to all this stuff here. You can't hear the bike. You can't hear him. He gets right up there, puts it off nice and easy. The reason that you want to learn how to do stuff like this is because every one of us here can break a bike. That's not a problem. We wear a lot of equipment. Most of us are a little overweight. I'm a lot overweight. You carry a lot of crap in your bike and you're just slamming that bike all the time. You to look forward. If you look down, you're not going to make it through. Also, be careful if you go through here and you're looking down and you start to bail and it goes over, you're going to taco a rim. You need to be able to look. You're going to go straight through and then right onto the other path. And then you're going to go up onto those boards over there. Dave will demonstrate. Okay, he already knows where he's going, so he's not even looking at that. He's looking at the next thing. He's done with that, he's looking where he's going to go. So when he gets it right, you're going to feel movement underneath those tires. You can't freak. You just got to ride it. Nice figure eight, nice and tight. He's always looking. Now he's looking. Watch his head where he's going every time. And the point is you want to over-exaggerate where you're looking for because you've already programmed. You need to get that in your mind. And that makes the difference between somebody. If you guys watch Dave go through the off-road, he is like...
Look, we're on a little bit of an angle here, okay? You need to be able to deal with that angle. Try getting on this thing going with the front wheel on the upside and the front wheel on the downside.
Okay, you guys will... Comes up, gets ready, push. See how he lifts that up? Now if you guys have over, one more time.
Or you
comes right there, boom.
You can, right, I'll do it that way.
Comes up, his front gets there, bam, he goes, wheel up so it gets on here. Then he knows his back wheel's gonna hit something, so he helps it. Watch, down, wait forward a little bit to help the back wheel up. Stays wide, comes in, does the push. Use all the room that you got. Why cut it? If he cut it short, he has a chance of the back wheel hitting. Now it's going to get real tight in here where you have to use all the room. You can see where some of the students have pushed the things away.
In this technique, you notice my crank didn't stop moving at all in there. Control your speed with your gear and your brake. Keep that center of gravity down, just like we were talking on that off-road stuff. If I coast, the bike wants to fall to the inside. Okay? Bring it out, arc it around. It's nothing but a dance. Try putting your knee on the inside of your handlebars, on the outside of your handlebars. Different people work different ways. Like when you're onto the lock, try putting the bar inside your knee or outside your knee. Whatever. Two different techniques work different.
Comes up, without touching it, goes around. All this is a confidence course. And after a couple of times through, you guys will have no trouble doing that stuff. Okay?
One of the keys to doing this, don't go directly at it. You notice, right? If I'm going over here, I start way over here, just like everything else. Apex your corner and swing that front end around. And when you're swinging that front end around, you're giving yourself that biggest opening to fit the cone. Bring it over it. Okay?
And why is that? That's because we don't really care, but you have to go to all four corners and you have to split the cone every time. It goes around that way, he's going to come up, go back around here, split this. Now depending on where he is where he's going to make his next turn. There he goes. Back up. Again, and what we're going to be listening for over here on the pallets is smoothness. The quietest you can put it up, the better. Figure out which way you want to go. Yeah. It's not may not get you through safely, may not get you. So this one here, Dave is going to go through. You guys are going to like this. He's going to come up. This is the keyhole, reverse style. Come up, go right over this. Come down, and it pushes you down. You got to use good braking. Split the cone. Is there a cone to split?
It's out there, but we have.
Okay. then back over. Now, Dave, come back over here, please. Do this. All right? You want it nice and controlled down because you're going to have to make a turn. He's going to come back around. Now he's going to come all the way over. And then up. And see, and he just uses his gears to push them up and over. All right?
Use all your space.
This one's going to test all your powers. You're going to come in, go around the cone, come back around, up, and out. Pretty sweet, huh? Once again. Watch what Dave does. He keeps power going the whole time, uses his brake to slow down his momentum and keep power to the back. Something that you will not do until Dave, Don, or I are here to walk you up. Again, nice and easy to control, down. Now, this up part is not a big deal. Going across this thing, even though it looks kind of weird, is not a big deal. But this going down is a bitch. And the reason I say he'll shift his weight back, because you're being forced down. Your weight's going to continue to travel. It's called pile driving 101. You know, you're going to end up like our buddy teacher. Okay, right up. Come back around. Pretty simple. Nothing to this. Again, this is an off-camber turn.
What do you think happens when you're up here and you're right here? What is physics going to make you do? Well, try. A long, soft landing. Trust me. So what you need to do, use a lot of rear brake. You don't want to lock this thing because that's just going to pivot you over. Okay? Just control it. Shoot up high. You actually get around and split the difference cone. Let that front end just roll down the hill. Okay?
It's easier to do it with the cone here than it is.
The trick to that one is shoot past the cone. It almost seems like you're going way too high. And let your wheel roll down around the cone.
See how easy it is? And also, when we do it with the cone, you don't have to come way up here to the top like Dave did. We just want you to get used to. You can see the arrows are pointing which way you need to go, up and over. You can see that some people, most of this is caught by a pedal. Come back over, and back. Okay?
Once you feel real good, do a U-turn on this and go back onto it.
See, he assists the bike over in the back. He knows when it's come up. See how easy?
Simple.
About as high as I want to go. And the reason for that is people want to, if they bail, that they're not going to get hurt. You still have movement under. All you want is movement under the wheel. That's all you want when you do a teeter totter. So a 2x12, yeah, 2x12, 10 foot with a railroad tie underneath of it will accomplish everything you need. Okay. We don't want you to haul ass over this. We want that fulcrum, we want this thing to come down. You're come down on one, go up on the other. You can see that this... These things don't cut.
Trap your hand and roll. Roll and hold it. Okay, good. Good. Stop. Stop. All right. Touch it. Roll. Trap that
Put down. Get the foot down. You need 2 points. There you go. 2 points.
Contact. Use your feet and legs for leverage. And
Ready?
go. Good. Another interesting point. He's going to go ahead and he's going to trap on the bad guy's hand. All right? Go ahead. Then he's going to roll and he's going to maintain bad guy's hand. Stop. Does everybody see what he's got? You can stay right there. Go ahead and go flat. You can stay right here and maintain a wrist lock. What do you got?
Resting spot.
Hell yeah. All right.
You alright? Oh yeah, so you're gonna have good
You got good hyperextension on the shoulder, and you got a good wrist lock.
You can really, if you want it.
Hell yeah. Okay. Now when it comes to finishing this, you're going to lose a little bit. It's got to be real quick, but you can finish and go into a straight arm bar or a bent arm bar, handcuffing position. Go ahead and spin. Keep going. What do we got? Okay, so let's do technique. Don't know if he's ever done that before, but all of a sudden he finds himself in that position and says, oh shit, I like this. I'm going to keep it. Okay? So this is a good job. All right, you guys ready? 25%. You guys ready? Go. Think about peeling the thumb. If you can find the thumb on there, peel that son of a job. Good. 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 And hold it, because you own it now, right? Oh, you're about to get locked up. Okay, stop. I know what you got. Good job.
That's better like that.
All day long.
You just had to hook it a little deeper. You wasn't.
What happened? You guys. Anybody lose their gun on that one?
That's the opposite way that it's going.
When I went through the last ground training school I went through, everybody lost their weapon. Everybody. It didn't matter how big they were. It didn't matter what type of holster they had. It didn't matter. Okay. How much do you have to train? You know. How much time you got? Shit. Still do it every day. Every day.
I got every snap I got on me except for
Anyway, what we're gonna have you guys do is peel off all your stuff. We should have some buckets and water.